Hey guys, welcome back. Another week means another Canon Fodder as always. This week is very much on the light side with not a whole lot to talk about. The big takeaway, at least for me, probably not so much you all watching, was that Grim is going to be spending some time this weekend in the Lone Star State, acting as the best man to a close friend's wedding. Or as he puts it, playing Grim Best Man 1 for one of his dearest friends' lifetime co-op celebration. I'll have to remember that last bit if I ever decide to get married. Or the next time I'm at a wedding. But anyway, congrats to Grim's friend. The gist of this week is all about favorite cutscenes. Grim shares some of his personal favorites, along with the favorites of some of the more well-known staff at 343 Industries. I'm sure many of these fall into the favorites category of many fans. I mean, there really aren't that many, relatively speaking, and I don't mean that as a bad thing. And there are some things that, surprisingly enough, Halo fans can agree on. Without going into too much detail, I'll share the verdicts with you, if for no other reason than to pad out this video. Just kidding, but not really. Grim's favorites are the closing to Floodgate, or as I like to call it, trading of arms. The opening to Arbiter, which is all the more memorable if you remember playing this for the first time with no knowledge that the focus would shift from the Chief at any point, let alone us playing as what were perceived at the time to be the bad guys. And finally, Invasion, the cutscene for Episode 7 of Spartan Ops. Frank O'Connor's are the Halo 4 epilogue, damn epic to be sure, and the opening to Metropolis. Johnson knows what the ladies like. Josh Holmes' are the opening to Halo 4. While I have some personal issues with it, it is pretty good and has some beautiful scenes. And Monsters from Halo Wars. Now seriously, what Halo fan doesn't have this cutscene in at least their top 5? It was the first time we got to see Spartans in action, and goddamn did Blur do an amazing job. It holds up, even years later. Kiki Wolfkills, still the most badass name ever, are the Halo 4 epilogue, Once More with Feeling from Halo 2, one of the sadder moments in the Bungie games and damn emotional even now, and Return to Sender from Halo 2. What need I say? What need anyone say? Finally, we have Kevin Grace with but one selection, Rescue from Halo 3. After almost an entire game without our talkative AI companion, sort of, we finally rescue Cortana, and it was a damn emotional moment for so many Halo fans. So, once again, to pad out the video, kidding, I figured I'd join in the fun and share my own favorite cutscenes. In no particular order, Monsters from Halo Wars. Again, awesome Spartan action. The classic Halo monks as Jerome is readying his shotgun just sets the perfect mood as the Spartans go to work. The closing to Metropolis. I really couldn't say whether I like the original or the Blur cutscene more, but both are damn beautiful and really get you pumped. The classic score by Marty O'Donnell, of course, makes the action that much more epic. And last but certainly not least, the closing cinematic to Halo from Halo 3. After a desperate run across an exploding Halo ring, the Chief and Arbiter make their escape aboard the Forward Unto Dawn. The epic music and the close calls make for some amazing moments, and the final line from Cortana,
"It's been an honor serving with you, John."
just makes this cutscene that much more wonderful and emotional. Fun fact, it marks the first time Cortana would call the Chief by his name, at least in the games. My memory isn't quite good enough to recall if she had in the books. So before we move on, how about everyone join in? What are your favorite cutscenes from the Halo games? Share in the comments if you're so inclined. The article moves on with a small recap / promotion for Hunt the Truth, which is now available on iTunes if y'all are interested. Speaking of Hunt the Truth, a new image was posted by Ben a few days ago. This, an unused picture of a glassed planet. There's sadly not a whole lot to discuss, but there is an alphanumeric code on the bottom right corner. I have no idea what it means, but if the last two numbers indicate a year, this could be the planet Colo, first seen in the short story / motion comic, The Return. Of course, it could just as easily be any other planet. Some have suggested that it might be Eridanos 2, John's homeworld, which does seem plausible given the subject of Hunt the Truth. The article wraps up with an interview with Jesse Stipik, a producer for the Halo channel. The interview is mostly about how people can get their content featured on the channel. If that sort of thing sparks your interest, check out the full article, link in the description. This of course brings us to the new universe entries for the week, of which there are 2. UNSC cruisers and Covenant cruisers. There's not a whole lot to talk about in each article, but both are interesting. Both list off the types of cruisers each side has, along with a brief description and their primary combat role. For the UNSC we have the Halcyon class, which fills attack and defensive roles. Designed in 2510, it saw limited use due to cost, lack of speed, and poor initial armament, among other concerns. The one thing it did have going for it, though, was the honeycomb deck design, which made for a very sturdy and resilient ship. This was why the Pillar of Autumn was selected for Operation Red Flag, after some major armament and engine upgrades, of course. The Marathon class, a replacement for the Halcyon, which was primarily used in attack and combat roles. The Valiant class, a super heavy cruiser dedicated to fleet command roles. And the brand new Autumn class. Made for offense, this class is based on the upgraded Pillar of Autumn. For the Covenant, we have the CCS class battlecruiser, an attack and occupation vessel. The CRS class, a light cruiser used primarily in support and interdiction roles. The RCS class armored cruiser, used primarily for patrols and occupation. It's basically a less advanced version of the CCS, said to be developed when shell technology was more limited. Finally, we have the brand new ORS class heavy cruiser, used primarily for survey and command roles. Like I said, it's a bit on the light side this week, but I'm kind of thankful for that. Long week. As always, I highly encourage you to check out this stuff for yourself. Link to the article in the description as always. That's all for now. This has been Halo Canon, and I'll see you Sunday or Monday for a brand new episode of Hunt the Truth. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. It means more than I can express in a few minutes of audio. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it around on whatever social media you see fit, and all that jazz. Thank you so much. Your support is everything. I would not be where I am without you. Thanks.